Hi everyone! Today's hair idea was inspired by Dany Targaryen and that braided faux ponytail she wears when she arrives at Dragonstone in the 7th season of Game of Thrones. I started my prep with a tapered 18mm wand from IncredibleMe.com. This was mostly so I could put some volume and wave into my naturally fine hair and also so I could avoid some of the braid shred that happens with my layers. In addition to that, I decided this would be a perfect opportunity to try out two new products that I've just purchased. They are Aveda's Shampure Thermal Dry Shampoo and the Powder Dry Shampoo. They smell amazing and instantly put some tacky grip onto my slippery strands, which again will assist me during braiding. My first section was a U-shape or horseshoe divide that started at my temples and wrapped all the way around my head. For now, I'm tying it up so that I can pull the lower half away with a clip. I'll be making 3 sets of 2 corresponding braids, and the first 2 are the simple princess style ones that are built with hair from along the forehead on either side of the centered part. If you'll notice, I'm not tying them off with elastics. Rather, I'm braiding each to the middle of the back of my head and then bringing them both in front of my face so that I can combine the ends into one braid. This means I'll have to turn the 6 individual strands into 3 before I continue. This isn't hard to do, but if you need an additional reference, I'll have my braid dictionary linked below. For now, I'm done with the horseshoe section, so I'm pulling it up with my clip. The next 2 tiers will be formed primarily with the lower half of hair, and bear with me because some of this sectioning is a little weird. I started on my right and drew a vertical line with my comb that extended from the top of the U-shape to the nape right behind my ear. For now, that's the only hair I'm working with. Next was a secondary vertical line right in the middle of that panel. The half near my face was less hair than the one behind it, and I'll explain why I chose to break up my density this way in a minute. When looking at stills of this style, it seems as though there are 2 very full braids, probably the thickest in the look, coming from straight under her horizontal side Dutch braids. Obviously, these were pieces built separately from the wig and then incorporated onto it during styling. No one has that much hair at their temples, so I didn't feel so bad using clip-in extensions. I had 4 1-clip wefts, and I placed 2 on either side and then simply braided to the ends and secured with elastics. The last set of braids will cover the clips for me. I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I did carve out some hair along my face that would eventually serve as tendrils. Normally I loathe having anything swinging in my eyes, but I guess I figured I would give it a shot today. The last braid starts off as a Dutch, meaning hair is added into both strands for a stitch or 2. To center it, I began by using a small section in the middle of the hair that was there and available for braiding. You'll find that you run out of hair below your braid pretty quickly, but that's okay. When that happened to me, I took down my horseshoe and used that hair to continue. I converted to a lace braid pattern, which meant I was pulling hair straight down from the top of my head into the top strand. It was in this way that I was able to extend it towards the back of my head, and it's the reason I didn't need a lot of hair in that initial panel. I knew I'd have lots of stuff in the U-shape that I could use. And obviously these steps are repeated on the other side of the head. So once more, it's a Dutch braid for a few stitches before it turns into a Dutch lace braid, with the additional hair from along the middle part being placed into the top strand. Once the 3 sets of braids are completed, the rest of the pinup will probably feel like a breeze. With a boar bristle brush, I smoothed down my cuticles and then used a regular ponytail elastic to make a loose half bun. I'm not concerned with how this looks since I will only need it there for a few minutes. Having taken out the elastic that had sealed my combination braid, I began by parting the strands into either hand, and when I had a good grip, I flipped them back and brought them over and around the messy bun, at which point I put the elastic back in. This effectively creates a ponytail since the braids are wrapped around the loose hair in the back. However, it'll end up feeling a little softer than it might if you had kept the elastic in. The last set of braids I made, the Dutch/Dutch lace ones, were brought back, crisscrossed right at the middle of my head, pinned, and then the ends of those were carried under the messy bun and tied together too. I actually had pretty good tails left over, so I did eventually undo the ends of those braids so that the hair would blend with the loose stuff, but that only happened at the very end. And the 2 braids with the extensions, the second set I built, are the ones I'm going to swoop up into a curve shape. I noticed that they aren't exactly flat at their points of origin on the actress, so I did give them a twist right at their base and then used a combination of closed and open pins to hold them. I crossed the tails over one another at the top of the middle of my head and then once again carried them under the messy bun and tied them with another elastic. When everything was where I wanted it to be, I took down my loose hair and that was it. I hope you guys liked my interpretation of this cool style. If you did, please let me know in the comments or by throwing me a thumbs up. Anyway, until next time, have fun, keep braiding. Oh, and fire and blood, everybody! I'm so excited. Bye!